Mary Tyler Moore show. Mary Tyler Moore passed away yesterday at 80 years old, and we will miss this trailblazing woman who highlighted issues that women are still dealing with today. Take a look at this clip. Oh. You hear that, Scarlett Johansson and Jennifer Lawrence? That pay gap thing has been bothering us for a long time. Yeah, this is, I mean, that show was just kind of spectacularly fun and wonderful.
It was a very funny show, mainly. And Mary Tyler Moore was on this show about, I think, 12 times. And all sorts of carcinogens in the air and everything, and we were worried it was going to happen again, and we were like, so scared it's going to happen. So the next day, Mary Tyler Moore sent 2 gas masks to our house. And every time Trump speaks, I put them on. For those gas masks.
You should post an Instagram of you and Steve as an homage to Mary Tyler Moore in those gas masks.
Remember that couch?
But she was thoughtful.
Wow. Yeah, very thoughtful.
Yes.
I remember it. I remember the notion that a woman was single and she was working, and she had these incredible...
When television is able to mirror a lot of people's lives out there, and a lot of women were sitting at home watching that and saying, this woman's speaking for me, and it came through television, and it creates an awareness through comedy, through acting, that sometimes you look for. Through film now, we see all the time that sometimes people really need to see, and it highlights it for everybody, and it brings it to the surface, and I thank her so much for everything that she did for women through all of her work, through her life.
Well, thank goodness we have those shows, because I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep making them. I'm kidding.
Why? Why do you say that?
Get your gas mask out.
Her face. I know. Yeah, I jest. But I'm not jesting about this. This Friday, there's a March for Life in Washington, and it's been happening since the year after Roe v. Wade. And before we get into it, I want to ask a question. You have a baby, and you have a baby, and you have a baby. I have a baby. I'm for life. I'm for life, right?
We have children.
Anybody out here not for life?
We're all for life.
So maybe we should stop talking about being pro-life or anti-life, because nobody is not for life.
Or pro-abortion, because no one's pro-abortion.
We are pro-choice. That's a difference. So I want to, and under your lips, please. Just under your lip. I know you're a Christian woman, you're a Catholic woman, you don't think abortion is right, and you should never have one. I, on the other hand, want to make that decision for myself. And so the women who are marching on Friday, I think it is, I want to give them some really great news, which is abortion is down, lower than it was when Roe v. Wade began. It's at its lowest. So one would think that people were able to make decisions and say, I do or I don't want to have it. So that is something I want to tell people, because when you are able to make a decision for you and your family, you're more inclined to discuss with them what you can and cannot do. So I know you want to discuss the fact that you are pro-life. Go ahead, my darling.
No, it's not that I want to discuss the fact that I'm pro-life. I think we're just discussing this March for Life, and it's been going on since 1974. But pro-life is not a dirty word. Being pro-life is not a dirty word, and you can't define for me what pro-life is, just like I can't define for you what feminism is. We had that discussion yesterday.
No. As I said, we are all pro-life. I don't think anyone is anti-life. I'm not defining anything for you.
Sonny, are you pro-choice? Because you can be pro-life and pro-choice.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. What I will say this, my faith tells me that life begins at conception. My faith tells me that abortion is wrong.
Right.
My faith tells me that abortion is a sin.
Right.
But, and I will tell you that 54% of Catholics believe that abortion should be legal.
Okay.
And that is why Catholics, by the way, participate in this March for Life overwhelmingly. There are about 300,000 marchers. Most of them, many of them, are from Catholic universities. And I went to Notre Dame, and so I have a lot of friends that attend this march every single year.
Okay.
And so what my point has been all along is that you can't define the pro-life movement by the fringe that you see, people that are killing abortion doctors, people that are extremists. Many people in the pro-life movement, 54% of Catholics, are like me, Whoopi, that believe...
Right. You're saying this like but I'm not, I have no issue that you have... Listen, you don't have to ever have an abortion. Yeah. That's the joy. I've not put anyone down. What I'm saying is I'm also pro-life. And I don't like having people define the fact that I think having a choice is a good thing. It doesn't make me less of a pro-life person. Nobody's debating.
Can I just jump in? Because I agree with what you're saying, but I also hear sometimes the term pro-life, I think, those people who bear that term and say, I'm pro-life, and by that they mean they're fighting for the rights of the unborn. That's how many pro-lifers define that, feel vilified for bearing that.
I'm not saying you're doing that. I have not vilified anyone.
I wish there were a way for me to come together and praise the rights of every woman, person, man, child out there, to have a march to express what they believe.
Yes.
And to say, you know what? The Women's March existed for this, and you know what? Maybe Planned Parenthood was a sponsor, and that's okay, because this is America, and you can stand for that. And now you have a pro-life march, and those people are defending the rights of the unborn, and that's okay.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Even if you take away Roe v. Wade, that does not stop women from having backroom abortions.
No,
a lot of women got killed. I worked in a hospital when I was in college before Roe v. Wade, and it was pretty bad what women were doing to themselves.
Yeah.
So you can't. It's a pragmatic reason that you have to have Roe v. Wade.
I understand that, but let's face it. I mean, I think many of us, I think we can all agree that abortion is not a good thing. It's not something that anyone wants to do.
Well, you know, it is something that some women have to do, and that's the idea. They can make that decision for themselves. I know you're praying. That is a decision that you should be able to make for yourself. As with anything, if you have a cervical issue, you don't want somebody telling you you have to have a hysterectomy.
I don't agree. I agree that the government shouldn't tell women what they can do with their body.
So you're pro-choice?
No.
Yeah, you are.
We'll be right back.
That statement.
Coming up, no sanctuary? Will President Trump's plan to target undocumented immigrants miss the mark and build a wall?
Welcome back. No. So David Muir went to the White House for the first interview with the new president, who repeated his voter fraud claims and said he'd consider bringing back waterboarding, and talked about how he'd deal with undocumented immigrants who are in America right now. Take a look. So
he's getting his big heart mixed up with his big head.
How will this immigration crackdown on sanctuary cities that place a safe haven for the undocumented really play out, you think?
I mean, I like a lot of what he's, I mean, if I'm being honest, what he's saying about immigration. I don't think he's going to go after people who aren't doing anything wrong. I think he said repeatedly he's going to go after criminals. He's going to go after repeat offenders. These sanctuary cities are a problem because they defy federal law, and you wind up with people who have been in and out of jail multiple times. You had Kate Steinle in San Francisco, who was murdered by an undocumented immigrant who had a rap sheet, that had been in and out of jail, had committed several crimes, had been in and out of jail, had been deported 5 times and let back in. And you have immigration officials from the federal government saying these sanctuary cities are preventing us from doing our job, because when we see someone that is a repeat offender, we want them out and we want them to stay out. And if you have these safe havens that defy federal law, it's a problem for us to keep this country safe. So I don't understand how a sanctuary city can say, you know, these people are breaking federal law and we're going to create a zone for them where it doesn't matter. I find it contrary to law.
Here's where cities are, though, Jed. I mean, and go ahead.
Go ahead, you go.
Just the bottom line is there's no legal definition for a sanctuary city. That is just a catchphrase that people throw out there. What the federal government is asking of these cities in these states is to become an arm of the federal government. They want the police officers to racially profile people, stop them and then say, you are brown, you must be illegal or undocumented. And become part of the yes, that's what they want.
Well, that's how it originally started. The sanctuary cities were there, and the profiling was a problem. I don't think anyone should be stopped and profiled, like, show me your papers. The other problem is, though, if we want immigration to work, when the federal government flags people, which last year there were over 17,000 flagged, the sanctuary cities, the state government would not help. If we want even FBI, CIA, if we want national security and they're flagged on something, now again, you have to be clear on what that flagging is. This is felons and other problems. It has to be defined, which Trump has not done yet. That's important. But with that said, you need grassroots help to enforce what's already there and is not being worked.
I'm interested in the fact that he has said, or he's going to sign an executive order that calls for the suspension and issuing visas for all people, everybody from Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, or Yemen. But he leaves out Egypt, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia, all Muslim countries, because he has business dealings in those countries.
And Saudi Arabia is like...
On that note, we will be right back.
Saudi Arabia is the
Later, naked ambition. Why your key to a happier life could be as easy as getting naked.
So, welcome back. If the current mood in America's got you feeling a little bit down, you can boost your mood by getting naked. That's according to psychologists. Say it will also help you feel better about your body, too. Okay.
I don't like to do that. No. I know. That is too much skin for anyone. Like, there are places that are supposed to be covered because they look better in clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walking around naked is about to make me self-conscious, and then I'm going to go binge.
Me too. But, you know, I've got girlfriends that are very happy, and she is naked all the time. Kathy, you know who you are. And
you called her out.
I called her out. She knows it. I mean, I almost feel like she was a nudist in another life. It's like she just walks around.
She's a nudist in this life.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you've met her. She just walks around naked all the time, and I go to pick her up.
House?
Yeah, anywhere. I go to pick her up, and she's running
So
naked.
you have a party at the house, at your house. Ding dong. Hey, Kathy.
Yeah. No, but what she will do is...
Naked at the
What Kathy will do is she'll say like, oh, can I try that dress on? And we'll be, you know, in my dressing room. And she's like, in my closet. And she just like takes her clothes off. And
well, I drop trousers. I don't run around like that.
Everywhere and everything.
She's supposed to, I don't understand how she puts your clothes on
She gets as naked as she can. She gets as naked as she can all the time.
I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. But
just naked?
I don't go around naked. There's no place to put my phone, for one thing. Another thing
That's not true. Right up under there. You know where to put that phone. You know.
But you met your husband at a nudist place.
Again, with the nudist colony.
Sorry.
He was nude. I was not.
That's true.
That's how you tell the story.
That's true.
It wasn't a nudist colony. It was
Here are the pictures.
It was a kind of a resort for adults. And I did not know him. He was very far away. He and his friend were standing there naked. They were about to go swimming in the pool.
But he feels good about himself naked.
He did until he married me. Then I said, put some clothes on.
I'm envious of people that feel. I duck the mirror sometimes.
Yeah.
I think for everybody, there's stuff you love about your body, and there's stuff that you're like,
jiggles.
You know, not even jiggles, stretch marks. I mean, I have stretch marks. Everybody's got those dimples in the places you wish they didn't exist.
You notice how men have these conversations?
You think those stretch marks, those are your breasts. It's just your breasts. You don't have stretch marks, please.
I promise you I have them, and I'm envious.
You want to see a stretch mark? You want to see a real... I got Champagne stretch marks, okay? If I take this off, I look like a stretch mark.
I have never heard a man have this conversation.
People I'm jealous of are the people that are able to say, you know what, this is my body, I love it, I don't care. I'm not there yet.
Be a man.
I'm not there yet.
Be a man, then you can say that.
But then
They love those love handles to be on the floor. They don't care. They do not care.
That's how I feel. Okay, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. This Gucci bag is so gorgeous. My grip is getting tighter. Might not get this one back, but it's valued at nearly $2,000. And take a deep breath, because it might be yours. Go to our Facebook page to enter by next Wednesday the 1st, and tune in next Thursday the 2nd to see if you are the winner of this beautiful bag.
So, As we will see with the bag if someone tries to take it, custody battles can turn ugly.
Yeah, they can.
Divorce courts in the state of Alaska are going to start treating pets like a member of the family. Couples will have to decide on who gets custody of the pet. Is this something that the law should be deciding?
Heck yes. I have chihuahuas, and they are never going to be hurt by a divorce. Like, anything happens, at this point they treat pets like property, like splitting a couch or a TV. The court should look at who's more capable of taking care of them, where their best interests are met, because all joking aside, if you have someone that like leaves a relationship and doesn't have a place to live or whatever, and you're handing dogs off, we should be a little more careful about where these dogs are going. It's specifically dogs I'm concerned with.
But how does a judge decide that? I mean, usually when there's a custody battle with children, if a child is old enough, the child can say, I prefer to live with mom, or I prefer to live with dad.
My child would definitely let it be known she wants to come with me.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, if you sort of simulate testimony and you have the dog run to one person or another person, but I think it may be very difficult.
Whoever has the treat.
And sometimes you can decide it unless it's a super contentious divorce. I went through a separation with Trixie's father, and he was good enough and big enough to say that the dog should come with me because I had the other dog and he didn't want to separate them. That's a good man for you. So I do think if it gets contentious, you might need to speak to who can offer a better life, but typically a couple can decide.
I got a dog with someone many years ago. I was dating him. We got a dog together. We broke up, and everything was great. You know, like we share the dog. It's fine until I started. Wait, I started visitation
every other weekend and holidays.
Wait, I started to get twisted because I thought about it when he would date somebody else. If that woman was like playing or sleeping in the bed or kissing my dog, I don't want that woman on my dog. Like I got very protective.
You want your dog to be in good hands, and if the other person loves the dog and takes care of the dog on their watch, that is the best thing for the dog.
Hey, you know what?
If I don't like her, I don't want to kiss in my dog's lips.
Oh, you have to love
the dog beyond your own.
Totally understood. But before we go, we want to make a reminder that we cannot say enough times to you. Check the batteries on your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. We've come through the first of the year. People always forget to do it. Please, you know, check also your fire extinguishers. Make sure that they're working. And if they're not, change them out because it's easy to do and it'll be off your mind. You won't have to think about it again, but make sure you check it out. We'll be right back. It was fun, right?
I love that.
It's kind of a fabulous thing. I had a really good time. I'm supposed to just, you know, I need...
When's your last day, and where are you going?
My last day is February 19th, and trust me, it's bittersweet. I've loved the show. It's been...
They could. A little train they could, right?
That's awesome.
So, what's going to happen with the G? I mean, there's...
Will they get it?
Well, here's the thing.
You
did a great job. You did a fantastic job. They looked at all your resume and everything that you've done. No, it's not that. It's that they went into a different direction, sweetheart. They went into a different direction.
So, Major, since you got the role and I didn't,
You can put that on your resume. I beat Whoopi.
That's right, you
It was
did.
really close.
So I thought you might get better use out of these than I did. Wow. And I wrote a little note inside. She wrote a little note. And I want to point out that your mom is here.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah. She's been holding up your Some people only dream of meeting their favorite actor. I raised mom. That's what she said. So, Major, as the new genie in the lamp, and I understand you want to grant your first wish right here on The View.
Oh, of course I'd love to.
Do you want me to rub something?
Oh, if you like. Let us do it. Members of the studio audience will be taking home a pair of tickets to come visit us in Agrabah.
When did you know this was a show you wanted to be part of?
Oh, well, I knew it was a show I wanted to be a part of when the movie came out. But I cannot tell you how many times I sat on my couch in Texas and watched the Tony winning performance that Mr. Igerhart started for us. And that was really it. I saw that and I said, oh, I can do this. There's no age profile. I can do this.
That's right. And James, you've talked about little girls coming to the show who want to play the genie. What do you tell them?
I always tell them that the genie's a mythical creature. There's no reason why the genie couldn't be played by a female. So I have little girls come up to me all the time saying, I want to play genie. And I say, you can. You know, and there have been. There was a little girl that came up to me and told me in her choir that all the boys told her she couldn't play it because the genie was a guy. I was like, they never said what the genie was. I said, it all depends on if you have the craziness and you're funny and you're good, you can do it. So I'm hoping that we get a, not right now, I want you to do well, but I'm hoping that we get a, you know, a lady on Broadway to just snatch it.
Was a woman.
Yeah.
I Dream of Genie.
They'd probably look a whole lot better in that outfit than we do. She looked amazing. I don't know if you
let me tell you something. You know what? There's a Broadway shows will make you wear the craziest stuff. When you look at those, do you see the size of my behind?
We're talking about. Some of us like that, you know.
Oh, stop. No, when we come back, we have an exclusive Aladdin performance you really won't ever see anywhere else or ever again. So you don't want to miss this. Come on back. Hey, so you guys, thank you for coming. We're so thrilled that you're here with us. And we want to say enjoy your view, whatever view you happen upon. A gift is about to be given to you. And just sit back and enjoy it. Mary Tyler Moore Show. Mary Tyler Moore passed away yesterday at 80 years old. And we will miss this trailblazing woman who highlighted issues that women are still dealing with today. Take a look at this clip. You hear that, Scarlett Johansson and Jennifer Lawrence? That pay gap thing has been bothering us for a long time. This is, you know, I mean, that show was just kind of spectacularly fun and wonderful.
It was a very funny show, mainly. And Mary Tyler Moore was on this show about, I think, 12 times. And all sorts of carcinogens in the air and everything, and we were worried it was going to happen again, and we were like, so scared it's going to happen. So the next day, Mary Tyler Moore sent 2 gas masks to our house. And every time Trump speaks, I put them on. For those gas masks.
You should post an Instagram of you and Steve as an homage to Mary Tyler Moore in those gas masks.
Remember that couch?
But she was thoughtful.
Very thoughtful. I remember it. I remember the notion that a woman was single and she was working, and you know, she had these incredible...
When television is able to mirror a lot of people's lives out there, and a lot of women were sitting at home watching that and saying, this woman's speaking for me, and it came through television, and it creates an awareness through comedy, through acting, that sometimes you look for. Through film now, we see all the time that sometimes people really need to see, and it highlights it for everybody, and it brings it to the surface, and I thank her so much for everything that she did for women through all of her work, through her life.
Well, thank goodness we have those shows, because I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep making them. I'm kidding.
Why? Why do you say that?
I'm kidding.
Get your gas mask out.
Her face.
I know.
I jest. But I'm not jesting about this. This Friday, there's a March for Life in Washington, and it's been happening since the year after Roe v. Wade. And before we get into it, I want to ask a question. You have a baby, and you have a baby, and you have a baby. I have a baby. I'm for life. I'm for life,
Yeah,
right?
we have children.
Anybody out here not for life?
We're all for life.
So maybe we should stop talking about being pro-life or anti-life, because nobody is not for life.
Or pro-abortion, because no one's pro-abortion.
You know, we are pro-choice. That's a difference. You know? So I want to, and under your lips, please. Just under your lips. I know you're a Christian woman, you're a Catholic woman, you don't think abortion is right, and you should never have one. I, on the other hand, want to make that decision for myself. And so the women who are marching on Friday, I think it is, I want to give them some really great news, which is abortion is down, lower than it was when Roe v. Wade began. It's at its lowest. So one would think that people were able to make decisions and say, I do or I don't want to have it. So that is something I want to tell people, because when you are able to make a decision for you and your family, you're more inclined to discuss with them what you can and cannot do. So I know you want to discuss the fact that you are pro-life. Go ahead, my darling.
No, it's not that I want to discuss the fact that I'm pro-life. I think we're just discussing this March for Life, and it's been going on since 1974. But pro-life is not a dirty word. You know, being pro-life is not a dirty word, and you can't define for me what pro-life is, just like I can't define for you what feminism is. We had that discussion yesterday.
As I said, we are all pro-life. I don't think anyone is anti-life. I'm not defining anything for you.
Sonny, are you pro-choice? Because you can be pro-life and pro-choice.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. What I will say this, my faith tells me that life begins at conception. My faith tells me that abortion is wrong.
Right.
My faith tells me that abortion is a sin.
Right.